तो ठीक है, today we will see the straight lines part 1. Okay, then coordinate geometry, we have to recall the coordinate geometry, and as you are seeing on your screen, we have x, this is your x-axis and this is y-axis. They meet at origin. This is O origin, which whose coordinates are 0, 0. And this 1/4 part of this Cartesian coordinate system, this part is called first quadrant. This is second quadrant, and this is third quadrant, and this is fourth quadrant. So if any point is having plus plus coordinates, it lies in first quadrant. Minus plus will lie in second quadrant. Both minus will lie in third quadrant, and plus minus fourth quadrant. This we have already studied everything. And then next is if we have to find the distance between the 2 points. So suppose the coordinates of A is x1, y1, x1, y1, and the coordinates of B, x2, y2. Then the distance between these 2 points, distance formula, we studied the distance formula under root x2 minus x1 whole square, x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. So this is the very first formula which we studied in coordinate geometry, distance formula. Then section formula. But in section formula, there are two types of divisions in section formula: internal division and external division. So in section formula, if a point, section formula means if a point divides a line segment joining the 2 points. Suppose these are the 2 points A, whose coordinates are x1, y1, x1, y1, and it is joining with another point whose coordinates are, this is point B, another point is B, whose coordinates are x2, y2, x2, y2, and a point P inside it. Internal division means when point divides, suppose this here, somewhere here, there is a point P which divides in the ratio of M1, M2. So this is M1, suppose it is dividing in the ratio M1 is to M2. So the coordinates of the point P will be equal to M1 x2 plus x coordinate will be M1 x2 plus M2 x1 divided by M1 plus M1 plus M2. This is x coordinate. And y coordinate is M1 y2 plus M2 y1 divided by M1 plus M2. These are the coordinates of the point which divides the line internally. This is called internal division. Means the point lies inside the line between the 2 points. So it is called internal division. This is called internal division. But if the point is outside, suppose we have a line which is joining by the 2 points, joining by the 2 points AB. Suppose this is A point and here somewhere is B point. And the coordinates of A is x1, y1, and the coordinates of B is x2, y2. Okay, this is what x1, y1, and x2, y2. This is point A. Here it is point A, point B. But there is a point on this line, but outside it, this one. Suppose this coordinates here, we don't have the space here, so x and y. Suppose it's coordinates on x and y. But this divides in the ratio m1 is to m2. M1 was from A to P, that means A to P, m1 and m2. That is m1 and another one is m2. So m1 ratio m2. Okay. So similarly, now we have the coordinates of x. Coordinates of x will be equal to, means coordinates of this point which divides line AB externally. So it is called external division. External division. So it is dividing externally, means the point lies outside the line. But when you find the ratio of these two distances, this distance, this is not m1, m2 actually, this is the ratio. So we should not do like this. That's why we are doing like this. If ratio, then we use to make the cloud. Suppose this is m1, we can say this line, this distance is up to here is m1, and from this to this m2, because ratio, this is not the distance. This can be any value m1, m2, but not the distance, but ratio. Okay, so that's why. So here point coordinates of the point B is this one. Point P is x and y. So therefore x, and what will be the value of x and y? Here we can say that x is equal to, either we write x is equal to, we are taking x, y, here also we can take x, y, and then put x is equal to m1 x2 plus m2 x1. So same thing. So here the question in this formula, m1 x2 minus m minus, this is minus, yes, it's not visible properly. Okay, now m1, the formula is m1 x2 minus m2 x1 divided by m1 minus m2. So only the difference is here minus will come instead of plus. Similarly, the y coordinate of this point will be m1 x2 minus m2 x1 over m1 minus m2 x1 divided by m1 minus m2. So this is actual formula. We don't have much time, otherwise we could do the questions on each formula. And we have done trisection, points of trisection. Points of trisection also we have seen. And centroid of a triangle. If centroid of a triangle means if you have a circle like this and you have a triangle inside the circle, there is the triangle inside the circle, then its center is called circumcenter. So the point A has the coordinates x1. This is suppose O. The coordinates of this is the formula for centroid of a triangle. Centroid of a triangle. Centroid of a triangle. Okay. So for centroid of a triangle, x1, y1, and the coordinates of B are x2, y2, and C x3, y3. Then this point O is a centroid. Let us take x and y. Then what will be the centroid of a triangle? That is x and y. So we can say x will be equal to, just add them, divide by 3x1 plus x2 plus x3 divided by 3. Because this is made by the median. This is the median. And median, center divide the median in the ratio of 2 is to 1. 2 is to 1. These are the medians. Medians of a triangle. So these are divided by 2 is to 1, 2 is to 1, and 2 is to 1. So 2 plus 1, 3. So then this midpoint, this is the midpoint. So we can find the midpoint of any, suppose this midpoint of AB is suppose D. So then D can be written as x2 plus x1 plus x1 plus x2 by 2 midpoint coordinates, and then we can use the internal division formula. So ultimately we will get this formula for centroid of a triangle. Y is equal to y1 plus y2 plus y3 divided by 3. Okay. After this, area of a triangle, we have seen the area of, suppose these are the coordinates. Then we have studied also area of a triangle in terms of coordinates. Half x1, then y2, 2 के बाद 2 after 2 3 will come, plus x2, y3 minus y1 plus x3, y1 minus y2. So this is the formula for area of a triangle. So these all things we have studied before. Now the next topic is the straight line. So now we go to the straight line. We will see some of the concepts of the straight line because we have only 7 minutes left. So slope of a straight line. What will be the slope of a straight line? Slope of a straight line. As you know from the meaning, slope means if somebody is tilted with some plane, then suppose this is a straight line and another line, this is x-axis, and if this is another line, this is another line which is making angle theta. So this is having the slope because the line is having slope because it is tilted with some angle. It is making some positive angle, anti-clockwise positive angle. But this, if this line will become perpendicular, it will not have. It will have slope, infinite slope. You can say infinite slope. If it will come this side, negative slope. What is this? What is slope? Before slope, you can see that this is the inclination of the line with x-axis theta. Theta can be greater than 0. Theta can be equal to or greater than 0 and less than equal to 180 degrees. Because this line can be moved. Suppose this is a straight line Okay, and another straight line is this one. Now this line can be moved. Suppose this is making, when it will come on this line. Okay, we can take another color. Okay, there is another line which is now making 0 degree with this line. Okay, 0 degree. When it will move, it will make some angle with this point. Okay, like this we can move this line to make the angle like this. Suppose this is a line we can make. This is when it makes 0 degree. When it makes 0 degree, it will come like this: 0 degree. Then theta is more than 0, 45, 50, 55, 60, 70, 80, 90 degree. Then more than 90 degree, and it will go up to 180 degree. Okay, so this is the angle which this line can make for making the slope. So when this is 0, there is no slope. When 0 degree, the slope is 0. 10 0 degree, 0. Slope is 0. And 1090 is infinity, slope is 10 theta. So 10 theta is infinity, then that means it is 90 degree. When this will come here, it will make 180 degree negative slope. Again 0. Negative will become again 0. So this theta, the angle which the line makes, is called the angle of inclination. This is called the angle of inclination. Okay. So this theta is the angle of inclination, and this is theta angle, and this theta angle is called angle of inclination. Now slope, angle of inclination. So what we have seen that its slope depends on the angle of inclination. If angle is 90 degree, then slope will become infinite slope. Everything will fall on this one. But if this is having 45 degree, if you will put something here, it will have frictional force. Okay, so it will fall, but not with that speed or velocity. Okay. So angle of inclination. And what is the slope? Slope of a straight line. Before that, this is the angle of inclination. Now we see that what is slope or gradient of a line. Slope or gradient of a line. Now we will see the slope and gradient of a straight line. Slope and gradient of a slope. The other name of slope, how much is it is make it is tilted, giving the slope. So slope can be called as gradient also. So slope and gradient are the same thing. Either we say gradient or slope. So gradient or slope of a straight line. Of a straight line. We are studying straight line in this chapter first. Okay. In coordinate geometry, we have conic sections also. The slope, if theta is the inclination, then tan theta is called the slope of a line. Theta is the inclination, then theta, tan theta is called the slope of a straight line. Tan theta is called slope, of a straight line. Okay. So m, it is denoted by m, small m always, denoted by small m. So m is equal to tan theta is the slope of the line. Okay. So whenever, and theta is the positive angle, the positive direction of x-axis. So if m is equal to tan is equal to 45, this line is making 45 degree. So tan 45 degree is equal to 1. So slope will be 1. When it is making 135 degree, so m is equal to tan 135 degree. Tan 135 degree is equal to minus 1. So negative slope, tan 135. So after 90 degree, the slope will become negative. The line is after 90 degree here, it will make negative slope. Okay. So 0 degree, slope is 0. 90 degree, slope is not defined, infinite slope. Theta 0, then slope. If theta is 0, slope m is equal to 0. If theta is 90 degree, slope m not defined,